Without warning, Elon Musk detonated another political firestorm. This time, not through a cryptic accusation or tech policy stance, but by targeting the very foundation of Donald Trump's economic revival plan. On June 6th, Musk publicly denounced Trump's much-hyped fiscal proposal, known as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, calling it nothing less than a disgusting abomination. The phrase, posted to millions of followers on X, sparked instant backlash and widespread commentary across the political spectrum. But this wasn't just about a rich man ranting about government spending. This was Elon Musk, arguably the most influential entrepreneur of the digital era, openly challenging the financial cornerstone of Trump's presidential comeback. The bill, a massive spending package designed to inject federal dollars into key sectors like infrastructure, defense, and energy, had been the centerpiece of Trump's campaign rallies. Trump had framed it as a path to restore American greatness through bold investment. But Musk wasn't buying it. The core of Musk's objection wasn't just ideological, it was financial, brutally so. According to independent projections, the bill could inflate the national deficit by $2.4 trillion over the next decade. While Trump's allies argued that long-term growth would balance the books, Musk saw danger ahead. "You cannot bankrupt the country in the name of patriotism," he tweeted. "This is fiscal suicide dressed in a flag." Coming from anyone else, the statement might have been dismissed as political noise. But Musk isn't just another critic. He's a central figure in nearly every sector the bill targets. His companies rely on infrastructure, automation, defense tech, and space exploration, precisely the areas Trump's plan aims to expand, which makes the criticism sting even more. Musk, it seems, isn't just opposed. He's warning from inside the storm. What makes this moment even more volatile is its timing. Trump has been trying to regain control of the economic narrative heading into a pivotal election season. With inflation anxieties and unemployment metrics swinging, the One Big Beautiful Bill was meant to be his economic reset button, a crowd-pleasing, job-spinning machine backed by patriotic branding and populist slogans. But with Musk stepping in and calling it out as a budgetary catastrophe, the cracks in the facade are suddenly visible. Analysts across business news networks began questioning the sustainability of the plan. The Congressional Budget Office quietly revised its internal forecast models. Even a few GOP lawmakers began voicing reservations, not because of moral epiphanies, but because Musk had reframed the bill as economically reckless, not just politically bold. And so, the stage is set. Trump's big bet on economic nationalism has met the full force of Silicon Valley skepticism. Elon Musk didn't need to launch a new product or space mission to dominate headlines this time. All it took was one phrase, "disgusting abomination," to turn America's economic future into a digital battleground. As debates heat up and the markets shift nervously, one thing is clear. When Musk speaks, even presidents have to listen. Almost instantly, the political machine reacted with fury. Conservative pundits accused Elon Musk of sabotaging America's comeback, while Trump loyalists flooded X with calls to boycott Tesla, SpaceX, and any Musk-affiliated brand. The backlash wasn't subtle. On Truth Social, Trump reposted a string of memes mocking Musk, referring to him as the electric clown, and suggesting that the billionaire has forgotten where his government money came from. In televised interviews, Trump surrogates questioned Musk's patriotism and accused him of aligning with globalist interests to destabilize a bill designed to create American jobs. The tone was loud, mocking, and dangerously polarizing. This wasn't just a disagreement over numbers. It had become personal, tribal, and political, another symbol in the ongoing war for America's economic soul. Musk, however, didn't back down. If anything, he escalated. He began retweeting economic data and budget projections, challenging specific clauses in the bill and highlighting flaws in its assumptions. He criticized the lack of spending caps, mocked the absence of meaningful auditing processes, and went so far as to post a side-by-side comparison of Trump's bill and a spreadsheet titled Argentina's Collapse 1998. The message was clear. This wasn't just bad policy, it was historical recklessness. And while Trump framed the bill as a revival of Reagan-era investment tactics, Musk called it Reaganomics on steroids and without breaks. The fight had shifted into an ideological arena where facts and philosophy collided in front of millions. In the background, markets began to tremble. Tesla's stock wobbled under the political pressure, but so did defense contractors and infrastructure giants who had been expecting a windfall from the beautiful bill. Wall Street analysts began slashing their optimism. Bloomberg issued a report titled Musk vs. MAGA, Fiscal Fracture in the GOP, outlining the potential economic instability caused by the feud. And behind closed doors in D.C., Republican lawmakers were split. Some doubled down on Trump's vision, but others, especially fiscal conservatives and libertarian-leaning figures, privately admitted that Musk's critiques had merit. One anonymous senator was quoted saying, "We can't preach about debt ceilings in January and support this monster in June. Elon's just saying what half of us are thinking." Meanwhile, the public reaction was as divided as ever. Among Musk's loyal fan base, many of whom are politically independent or skeptical of both parties, his blunt stance was praised as courageous. Tech forums erupted in praise, financial podcasts dissected every post, and hashtags like Musk was right and fiscal fraud trended on X for over 48 hours. On the other side, Trump's base hardened. They viewed Musk as part of the elite establishment they believe Trump is fighting. Some right-wing commentators began painting Musk as a closet Democrat, despite his past endorsements of Republican policies and figures. At its core, the fight was no longer about a bill. It was about two competing versions of American leadership. One rooted in populist nationalism, the other in tech-centric realism. Both rich, both powerful, but only one would define what came next for the country's economy. And for the first time, their clash wasn't behind closed doors. It was playing out in real time, tweet by tweet. Then came the moment that turned the battle into a full-scale war. In a nationally televised town hall appearance on Fox News, Donald Trump directly addressed Elon Musk by name, abandoning innuendo for confrontation. "Elon has done great things," Trump said with a half smile. "But let's not pretend he got there without a lot of help from people like me." The crowd laughed nervously, sensing the shift. SpaceX wouldn't be in the sky without government contracts I approved. Tesla wouldn't have survived without tax breaks I expanded. So maybe Elon should say thank you instead of trying to tear down what I built. The audience cheered, but behind the stagecraft was a clear message. Trump was not just defending his bill, he was reclaiming the credit for Musk's rise. The implication was simple and cutting. Loyalty should be repaid, not challenged. The political fallout grew heavier by the hour. GOP donors began to panic as media outlets framed the feud as a civil war within the right. Conservative think tanks scrambled to distance themselves from Trump's bill, while several high-profile endorsements were quietly withdrawn. Meanwhile, Musk's businesses, especially SpaceX and Starlink, became the focus of scrutiny from Trump-aligned lawmakers threatening audits and funding cuts. There were whispers of investigations, public letters from congressional committees, rumors that federal defense partnerships might be frozen. And yet, Musk remained unmoved. In one of the most retweeted posts of the week, he simply said, "If truth costs me contracts, so be it. I can afford it. America can't afford lies." And suddenly, the narrative shifted. Musk was no longer a rogue billionaire stirring controversy. He had become the face of fiscal resistance. And Trump, once the master of economic messaging, now looked rattled and reactive, forced into a defensive posture by a rival too rich, too loud, and too credible to ignore. Trump, ever the tactician, attempted to pivot. In new speeches, he stopped mentioning the bill by name and instead focused on broader themes like economic freedom and American strength. He doubled down on attacks against the media and painted Musk as an egomaniac billionaire trying to play president without running. But the sting of Musk's data-driven criticism still lingered. For once, Trump couldn't control the narrative. He had been outmaneuvered not by a political opponent, but by a rival whose weapons weren't votes or campaign slogans, but numbers, platforms, and public trust. Elon Musk, meanwhile, didn't declare victory. He didn't need to. The silence from his side spoke volumes. He returned to posting about Mars missions, AI safety, and software updates. But everyone knew he had shifted the tide. His critique had done what few thought possible. It disrupted the populist juggernaut of Trump's policy messaging and forced a rare moment of bipartisan hesitation. Political commentators noted that Musk had created a new axis of influence, one where tech leaders could openly challenge political orthodoxy without needing to run for office. He had proven that in the era of digital currency and decentralized networks, power no longer came from Washington alone. But the deeper takeaway wasn't about who won. It was about the growing fault line between image and accountability in modern politics. Trump had banked on emotional appeal, patriotic framing, and a promise of revitalization. Musk offered hard math, unfiltered commentary, and the audacity to say what many were afraid to. That fiscal recklessness, even when cloaked in red, white, and blue rhetoric, is still recklessness. And Americans listened. Not all, but enough to shift the tone of the conversation. The idea that challenging debt was unpatriotic lost its sting. For a brief, extraordinary moment, data outshouted drama. In the end, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act was quietly revised, its scope narrowed, and its language softened. It passed months later under a different name, without the fanfare. But the real legacy of that battle wasn't the policy, it was the precedent. Elon Musk had shown that influence doesn't require office. That with the right message, the right moment, and the right platform, one voice, no matter how controversial, can reshape the debate entirely. And as America watches more billionaires step into the political arena, the question isn't who speaks the loudest, but who dares to speak the truth when it matters most.